Hello, my name is John Adams. I'm a Republican, just an ordinary citizen, running for Congress in the 15th Congressional District of Ohio. Please come with me as I share with you exactly why I'm running for Congress. We are here on June the 16th at Cider Grove Metro Park on Route 104, just a few miles south of Grove City, Ohio. Since last year's presidential election, it has come to my attention that crooked Democrat Party operatives in various states stole the presidency from President Donald Trump and the American people. The results of that stolen election are now being played out in Washington, D.C. The Democrats are now trying to steal our freedom of speech and are planning to abolish our right to bear arms. The Democrats have opened our southern borders, allowing anyone, including drug smugglers, to enter our country. This is a threat to our national security. Trade laws have been reversed to accommodate communist China. We watch rioters in our cities almost every week on TV. We do not feel safe nor secure in our own homes because law and order in many cities has been abandoned by local Democrat authorities. The Democrats have suppressed our freedom and our right to assemble in churches, schools, and our workplaces. Right now, the Democrats are in total control of our American self-government. They are spending trillions of dollars that we do not have in order to line the pockets of their political supporters. It's payback time. We know how it works. By the way, have you noticed that since the first of the year, gas prices at the pump have gone from about $2 a gallon to now it's over $3 a gallon now? Have you noticed how the thief in the White House, Joe Biden, has shut down the construction of our American pipelines, but he says it's okay for the Russians to build their pipelines? On top of that, now we find out that Biden is buying oil from the Iranians, the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. We're also witnessing how the Democrats are trying to solidify their grip and control on our self-government and we the people. The Democrats have proposed packing the Supreme Court with 4 new liberal Democrat judges. They want to create new states in Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico, giving the Democrats 4 new Democrat senators. As for me, I believe that the fundamental purpose of our American self-government is to keep the peace, both foreign and domestic. The Democrat Party is not working towards those ends. We are now a nation of the Democrat Party, by the Democrat Party, and for the Democrat Party. If the Democrats had their way, they would change our motto on our American currency from "In God We Trust" to "In Democrats We Trust." I believe that the cause of all of this Democrat Party takeover has its roots in last year's presidential election. It is obvious to me and many others that President Trump had his presidency stolen from him by the crooked Democrat Party operatives. Last year's presidential election did not accurately reflect the will of the people, which is the basis of our American self-government. There is so much data and information out there in many states that convinces me and many others that President Trump's presidency was stolen. I truly believe that the Democrat Party operatives cheated in at least 8 states and most likely a lot more across America. Quite frankly, I believe that many of my Democrat friends do not want to win elections by cheating. They would support ensuring voter integrity. Currently, the Republicans cannot do a darn thing in Congress. Nothing. The Democrats hold a majority in the House and the Senate, and they control the presidency. You know, I was thinking about this. Now that the Democrat Party operatives have successfully stolen last year's election, they have made our government into a new form of taxation without representation. So what can you and I do as Republicans to restore our nation and to stop the crooked Democrats from cheating at the ballot boxes and stopping them from destroying our nation from within? There are 2 actions that we can take. Here is the first one. If you are a Republican in the 15th Congressional District of Ohio, you can go to the polls on August the 3rd and nominate me to be your Republican candidate for Congress in November. If I'm elected in November, I will go to Washington, D.C., and I will join with the members in the Conservative Republican Freedom Caucus. I will then urge a group of them to travel with me to the various states where the crooked Democrats cheated and stole the presidency from President Trump and in reality from all Americans. As a congressional group, we would meet with the various state legislators and demonstrate to them exactly what the Democrats did to steal the presidential election. Then we would suggest what each state legislature must do to stop the crooked Democrats from ever stealing another election in our nation, which, in essence, will stop them from destroying our nation. You and I, and all Americans, we are so close to losing our constitutional rights, our freedom, and our liberty. We have a choice, and this might be our last chance to restore our God-given American freedom and liberty. If we cannot put a stop to these Democrats from cheating at the ballot box, it is game over for America. This is your choice. It is real simple. In considering voting for me, please understand that if I'm elected, I will represent the people. I will not represent special interest, political action committees, corporations, unions, lobbyists, or wealthy people. I will not sell my soul to that crowd. I will represent you, and to the best of my ability, I will speak for you. That is the way our representative government ought to be. Your vote will help to begin to restore our freedom and our liberty. If we fail, then we would have to live under the one-party Democrat dictatorship and totalitarian rule for as long as we can see. If that evil comes to pass in America, then our freedom and liberty will only exist in our rearview mirrors. The other action that all of us Americans can take, all of us who love our nation, what we can do is to pray for our nation. Please pray that God will intervene and help us secure and protect our freedom and liberty for all Americans, now and for future generations. Please pray that our grand and glorious American flag, our American symbol of freedom and liberty, will continue to fly strong like it has for all American generations before us. Also, please pray that all of our ancestors and their families, whoever fought and died for our nation, whoever sacrificed, whoever lost their loved ones in battle to preserve our freedom and liberty, that they did not suffer and die in vain. Friends, our campaign is the beginning of the fight to the death for the soul of our nation. Please join me at the polls on August the 3rd and vote for my candidacy. Thank you for listening.